Okay, good evening everyone. Bezrat Hashem. I almost canceled this class. I didn't feel well. But it looks like HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted me to do that. So Bezrat Hashem, we have a very interesting topic today. This is something that people asking a lot of questions about that. It's called evil eye, Ain Hara. This is something that some people believe, some people say they don't believe. Some people say it exists or not exist. We're gonna face few questions today. Is it possible to prove that evil eyes exist or not exist? A scientific proof. If it exists, how it affects our life? Can we do something against that? And more, Bezrat Hashem. So first of all, I want to start and tell you that there's a very important book in Judaism called Gemara. Gemara is also called Talmud. It was written 1,600 years ago. There is two types of Gemara of Talmud: the Babylonian Talmud and the Yerushalmi, the one that they wrote in Jerusalem. And this is basically the main source of the oral Torah. There is the written Torah, which is the 5 books: Bereshit, Shmot, Vaikra, Dvarim, Bamidbar, Dvarim. And there's the oral Torah, and in the Talmud it says it talks a lot about evil eye. One of the most known sentences and stories that it says in the Talmud talks about one person. His name was Rav. Yeah, Rav is also a rabbi, but this was his name, Rav. Yeah, imagine someone you call him Rabbi. That's his name. So Rav, he lived in Babylon, Iraq. Yeah, and one time he went to the cemetery, and he was a very spiritual guy. He was a very holy person, and he had a connection, and he had a way to talk to the dead people. There is a way to communicate with them. Yeah, maybe we should speak about that in another class. I have a very interesting class I made in Hebrew. It's called Seance. Yeah, Seance means a communication with dead people. But he went to the cemetery, and when he went out of the cemetery, he said that there's 99% of the people that are buried here, they passed away because of evil eye, and there's only 1% that passed away because of different reasons. That's what he said. So according to that, most of the problems in the world are because of evil eye. This is serious to say such a thing. We see all over Torah that the big rabbis and the big people in the history, they were afraid of Ain Hara, of evil eye. Just an example, Yakobov, Jacob, yeah, the son of Yitzchak, the son of Abraham, Yaakov Avinu, he lived in Israel. And there was a situation, was a hunger in Israel, there was no food, and he told his sons to go to Egypt. Now Joseph was already in Egypt, as we know the story. They thought he passed away, he died, but he was there. Binyamin, he was the youngest brother. Yaakov didn't want to send him anywhere because Rachel, his wife, had 2 children, Yosef and Binyamin. Yosef, according to what they knew, passed away. So Binyamin, he wanted to keep him home. So he sent his 10 children. He had 12 children. Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Issachar, Zvulun, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. Those 10 children, he sent them to Egypt because he heard that in Egypt they do have food, and they have a lot of food, and they give, of course, if you pay, they give to the other countries. But Yaakov Avinu tells them certain advices how to go to Egypt. And one of the things he tells them, he says, when you go to Egypt, don't get in one, there's the border, and there's few places where where you can, like a few gates to the city, to Egypt. So he says, don't go in one gate, all of you. Each one should go in a different gate. That's what Yaakov tells them. And what's the reason? He also explains the reason. The reason is because you all beautiful people, they were very beautiful, they were very strong, and I don't know if they went to the gym, but they were strong people, especially Yehuda. Yehuda was a big macho, yeah? Schwarzenegger. Yeah? It was a lot more than him, but okay. But he told them, if you all gonna go in one gate, people gonna see you, 10 brothers, beautiful, smart, strong. They're gonna say, wow, look at them. This is gonna cause an evil eye. So I'm telling you, my advice as a father to his sons, please, each one of you, be humble. Go in a different gate. By the way, this was also a cause of Joseph. Joseph was the king of Egypt. They didn't know that this is their brother. When he saw them, so he told them, you are spies. Why you are spies? Because you are all brothers. Why each one of you go in a different gate? You should all go in one direction, in one gate. So this was the reason to him to come and say, yeah, because he wanted to hold them in Egypt. So he told them, I'm not going to leave you alone. You are spies, stay here. But we see that Yaakov Avinu, the great father of us, he was afraid that they're going to have an evil eye. You're going to see it not just in the stories of Torah, also in the book of laws of Torah. We have a book of laws called Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch, this is a book that you read and you know what's the halakha, what's the direction, what to do in every step in your life. And there it says something very interesting. It said that there is a prohibition to go and to look at the field of your friend when it grows. Back then, people used to work mostly in the ground, in the field. Each one had his field. This one grows tomatoes, the other one grows cucumbers, and so on and so forth. So, there is certain times during the year that your field is like growing. Yeah, sometimes you just put the seeds in, you don't see all the fruits. But there is a certain time, usually is twice a year, before Sukkot and in Shavuot, there's twice a year that things are growing. Our rabbis say that if you have a friend and he has a field, don't look at his field when it's in the
process of growing.
In the process of growing, yeah. When it's like looks very nice, very good. Why is that? Because then you're going to be amazed and you're going to say, wow, and this can cause an evil eye. That's why when you see it, don't look. That's what the book of laws says. So we see clearly, our rabbis, our Torah says clearly there is such a thing called evil eye. Now you're going to ask me now, okay, fine. The Torah says, can you prove it? Because we don't see it. Okay, I go to visit my friend, he bought a new house. I look at his house and I say, wow, cool, man, this house is beautiful. Did I damage his house right now? Did an evil eye on his house? Most of the people in the world think, if I'm jealous, right? How evil eye works. If I'm jealous, let's say I say, wow, he doesn't deserve it. This guy doesn't deserve such a house. I need to have a house like that. You're jealous in him. So maybe this is going to cause an evil eye. But even though we have to prove it. Who said? Did you see fire comes out of your eyes? Did you see something that is coming out of your eyes and damaging something? We didn't see. Our rabbis tell us there is certain proofs that we can check. By the way, long time ago, the Russians, they had universities, also 100 and 200 years ago. The university they had, one of the universities in St. Petersburg, it's a city in Russia, they made an experiment. They had certain people that were doing like bad things, and they need to execute them. Okay, they need to execute them. But before they execute them, they wanted to make an experiment. What's the experiment? They took a few people. They didn't give them to eat for 3 days. Russians. Back then.
For science.
For science, And they didn't give them to eat for 3 days. And after 3 days, they took bread, they put in front of their eyes, and they were like, looking at the bread like, they want to eat, and they don't give them to eat. They just can look. Just look, don't touch, don't eat. Imagine to yourself what's happening there. Your eyes going out of the place. They say that they opened the bread after that, and they looked inside. It was poison. Just because of whatever they looked, the bread became inside with poison. They gave it to the dogs to eat. The dogs died. All of them. So this is an experiment that the Russian did. I'll tell you something that is written 500 years ago by Rabbi Chaim Vital, the great rabbi in Tzfat. He was a student of the Arizal. He wrote in his book Etz Chaim, that's the name of the book, in one of the first pages, that there is a special creation in the world that Hashem created called Bat Ya'ana. How you say Bat Ya'ana? Ostrich. Bidyuk. The ostrich, we see it in the zoo. The ostrich is very unique. Why? Because every bird has eggs, and the bird knows if for the eggs for those small efrochim, for the small birds inside the eggs to grow, so you have to warm it. So usually the bird sits on that, and they warm the eggs, and then it comes out. The ostrich is very, very unique. Rabbi Chaim Vital says the ostrich doesn't sit on its eggs. What it does, just looks at them from far away. So the eggs is, let's say, on the tree, and it looks at it, and that's how it gets warm, just by looking. And if someone is going to block the vision, so the ostrich right away is going to attack him. That's what Rabbi Chaim Vital says 500 years ago. By the way, today, it's proven by the science, that's what's happening. So you see that the ostrich warming the eggs through the eyes. Wi-Fi. Wireless. You don't touch it and it gets warm. Why did Hashem create such a creation like this? To show us there is a power in the eyes that can go out and do something. Good, or chas v'shalom also bad. So there is such a thing called ayin hara. And it's proven. Now the question is how it works. How can we save ourselves from that? And do we need to think about that all the time? Especially people, Jews from the Arabian countries, Faradim, like us. Each one of us has a grandmother that always was afraid of Ain Hara, of evil eye. I had a grandmother like that, Every place you go, she gives you something like take garlic with you. I say, well, why do I need garlic? Like he says, no, garlic is good for against evil eye. So I was going with garlic to school, They were putting chamsa, chamsa? Chamsa and different eyes, and some people put this bracelet, like they say red, and we're gonna see if it's true. But this is something that the Jewish nation was growing with. Ain Hara, it's something that exist all the time in our tradition. The question is, thank you. The question is how it works. So, I'm going to tell you today a secret that's written in Kabbalah books, how the evil eye works. Evil eye comes even if you're not jealous in someone. Let's say someone bought a new car. Yeah, Lexus is already not really something. Tesla. Yeah? You bought a new Tesla. That's how you say that, right? You bought a new Tesla. Shmuel, you here?
Yeah.
Zat Hashem, you should have a Tesla soon. Zat Hashem. Yeah, so you bought a new Tesla and your friend says wow, achi, bro, this is cool, this is so beautiful. But really, he doesn't jealous. He's a good guy. He's not jealous of you. Does he's gonna still make an evil eye on me? Or not? Our Rabbi says, yes, he's still gonna be influenced by evil eye. Why? So they say, very simple. Evil eye comes every time someone is surprised. Yeah, and there's people, and that's why evil eye of women is a lot more stronger than men. Why? Because usually women, they're more surprised than men, Let's say you buy something new, wow, they scream. And man, you bought something new, okay, good, nice, they're not very surprised, they're not very emotional. People that are emotional, their evil eye is going to be a lot greater, bigger. Why? Because they are really surprised. Wow. They say wow. And then it comes out of the eyes. This fire comes out of the eyes. Now, our rabbis tell us, if you are jealous, for sure you make an evil eye on the person. For sure, 100%. Yeah.
If I capture myself when I'm doing an evil eye, and I photograph it, let's say for Halloween I'm there wax.
I'm going to speak about evil eye that you do about yourself also. In 1 second, okay? So, let's go to the Tesla. Back to the Tesla. You saw the Tesla, and you say, wow, you put an evil eye on this guy. Why? Because you saw something, and you impressed, and you think he got it because of himself. He worked hard, he made a lot of money, and he got a Tesla, right? Our rabbis say, what did you do right now? You disconnected Hashem from the picture. When you see someone buys a new house, a new car, does something, he looks beautiful, and you are impressed. So basically what happens, you say to yourself, wow, look, this guy is such a good person, he's such a rich person, he did it by himself, and you are impressed. So you make an evil eye on him. Why? Because you just disconnected Hashem from the picture. He is the guy that did it. But, and it's very deep this point that I'm telling you now. Let's say you look at a person that he just bought a Tesla. And you say, wow, Hashem gave you a present. Hashem gave you a present. You look at a girl or a guy that it looks good. If you look and you say, wow, you're so beautiful, and you think in yourself, he is so beautiful because this is who he is. So then you can make evil eye on him. But when you say, you're so beautiful, and inside yourself, or even you say it, like, Hashem gave you a present. This is not you, this is Hashem gave you. The car is not you, the house is not you. You didn't do it with your powers. Hashem gave you. I'm impressed, but Hashem gave you. If you look at that like this, you're never going to do evil eye to anyone in the world. Because evil eye works only when you disconnect Hashem from the picture. And you think someone did something by himself and deserves something by himself. So now, this is a big rule. Now we're going to see that we can also do evil eye on ourselves. Yeah? When you stand in front of the mirror and you look at yourself and you say, pshh, beautiful. Huh? What did you do right now? You just put an evil eye on yourself. Beautiful. I know how to make up. I know how to put my hair. I know how to put the gel. You know? I work hard for doing the beard. Or whatever. When you see that you're successful in something, that you have a good quality or good something, and you point it on yourself, it's because of myself, here you go, this is evil eye on yourself. And by the way, evil eye on yourself is a lot stronger than evil eye that you do to other people. So what are we going to do? We have to understand one point, very important point. When you see something good in yourself, and it's very good to see good things in yourself. You know, people that doesn't see good in themselves, they get to depression, they don't want to leave. This is the problem of the generation. You know, you look at the mirror and you say, I'm a loser. This is bad, you're not a loser. HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought you to this life, you are unique, you're something special. Hashem made you like you need to be. And there's nobody else in the world that can do whatever you need to do in your mission. Sorry. But, after you understand that, you say, but it's not because of myself. It's because Hashem gave me a present. Thank you, Ribono Shel Olam, that you gave me that. I appreciate that. I'm grateful. Yeah, we spoke about it. Grateful a few weeks ago. To be grateful. So, this is, you're never going to make an evil eye on you. Same thing when you look at your baby. Bezat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give you siyata dishmaya to get married and to have a child, Bezat Hashem. And then you're going to have a baby. And you know, one of the things when you take your baby in your hands and you say, such a good genes, you know. That's what you say, you know. It's cute. Who made this guy? Who made this guy? I did it. You know, it's me. When you do that, you do an evil eye on yourself, on your family. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says the most important character in the world, it's humbleness. It's to be humble. Why Hashem chose Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu? You know, there were so many Jews in Egypt. Hashem chose Moshe, to be the Messiah. The one that takes all the nation out of Egypt. The person that all the history talks about him. You know, he's the most popular person in the world. Moshe. Yeah. There was one guy in a school in Russia. So the teacher was asking, who is the most popular person in the world? So she was Christian, so she wanted to say Jesus.
JC Penn.
Yeah. So one guy, Yasha, is putting his hand up, and she says yes. So he says Shakespeare, and she says no. And the other guy says Albert Einstein. She says no. And then there was one Jew there. Yeah, Rabinovich. He was sitting in the class, and he was saying Jesus. And she's like, wow, Abinovich, I didn't expect that from you. Very good. Now she says, who's going to know is going to get $5. So he just got the $5. So then when she comes to him, she says, I thought you're Jewish, you don't like Jesus. He says, listen, we all know that Moshe was the guy. But, business, it's business. Moshe, yeah.
Regarding Moshe though, maybe he was more charismatic. Maybe he was have less humility. Maybe if he was like a pharaoh, like a charismatic leader, he would have convinced people to take him into Israel because he never went to Israel. He stopped before entering Israel, right? So maybe he would have had more popularity with his people if he was almost like an idol, but like a charismatic leader, like a pharaoh.
He was charismatic, but he was humble in the same time.
Maybe he was too humble.
So this is the Torah comes and say, "V'aish Moshe anav mikol adam asher al pnei adama." He was the most humble person in the world, and that's why Hashem chose him. I want this guy. Why? Because ego is a bad thing.
Right, but the Jewish people didn't choose him, and he wasn't able to go into Israel.
Doesn't matter. All the Jews accepted him. ויאמינו בהשם ובמשה עבדו. They all believed in him. What?
They accepted him to stay out of Israel.
No, he stayed out of Israel because he made a sin. If you go through the Bible, you will see the reasons. He made a sin according to his level, and Hashem told him, you don't deserve to go to Israel. But Hashem chose him because he was humble. So we have to understand, the most important thing in life is to be humble. If we just said that the thing that caused most of the problems of the world is evil eye, and what's the best thing to do against evil eye is to be humble. Because when you're humble, people are not, they don't look at you too much. Why Yakobov tell his sons, go each one in different gate? Why? So people doesn't look. Now today's society is the opposite. What we do, everything should be, everybody knows. Everybody knows what we do. Yeah? You want to get married to a girl, so you do you propose, right? You get a ring and you propose. Right away, you have your friend, of course, has to, he has to take picture from all the sides. Chas v'shalom to miss one side. And you put it in Facebook, Instagram, help me with this. Snapchat, WhatsApp, all this. And you put it all over. Yeah, 50,000 people looked at the ring and saw how much you are happy and how much is beautiful in your life and said, wow, such a good couple, such a nice people. Yeah? And the rings, and wow, this ring is cost that money and this money. And then you wake up in the morning and you wash your hands and the ring falls in the sink. And then you don't know, you ask the rabbi, why did it happen to me? Why did it happen to you? Ayn hara. Evil eye.
But if it's insured, that could be a blessing.
What?
If it's insured, that could be a blessing.
If it's This is just an example of, this is our life, guys. Now I'm telling you, this, all what happens today with those things, with those social media, from one hand is good, Once in my lectures I said, one of the biggest mitzvot that you can do in your life is to share a Torah video with your friend, or with your 20,000 friends. You're making a huge, tremendous mitzvah. How many people listen to Torah because of you? Like, let's say this video, you send it to people, it's the biggest mitzvah you can do. Why? Because now maybe 1,000 people, because he's sharing with another friend, and another friend, maybe more than thousands of people watch a Torah lesson because of you. Their life is changed because of you. And then their kids, they teach them Torah because of that lecture. So this is a big mitzvah you can do. From the other hand, it's caused most of our problems today. Why? Because people are not always happy with what you have. And even more than that, they sad inside because you have successful life. And this has caused a lot of problems. That's why I'm telling people, as much as you can be humble, it's better to you and your family. Now I want to share with you an idea that I saw so many times, and I'm sure that you're going to be familiar with this. There is, you know, when there is a party, let's say a bar mitzvah party, or a wedding, or a brit milah even, or whatever it is, usually the main the main guy, yeah, or the girl of the party, few days or one day after the party, is sick or doesn't feel well, or something happens with him. I realized that in every party I went to, even according to myself. We'll give time to questions after that, sorry. So, if we're gonna understand, if we're gonna see, it's mamash, it's in front of our eyes. We go to a party, and all the attention is on one person, and he's like the star of the day, and everybody looks at him and wow and how, and then you're gonna see him sick one day after that. What happened here? A lot of attention, a lot of wow, a lot of jealousy, a lot of evil eye. So, people that listen to this, they may say, okay, listen, how can we run away from this? This is life. So don't get married, make 10 people minyan and that's it? In the synagogue? No, we want to have... So first of all, I'll tell you the truth. To do big parties, you're just going to lose because of that. Always. Lose money, yeah, headache, and at the end, really people doesn't remember that. They forget. Oh, it was a nice party. That's it. And then the amount of evil eye that goes on you, you don't understand. I have a friend, he got married, and they need a helicopter to bring him to the wedding with his wife. And they, from the helicopter, they were both together coming from the sky like this. And everybody said, woo! And today they're divorced. It was very nice there, Abdel. But that's it. After a few months, it didn't work. Now, I'm not saying, maybe other reasons also, but listen. When you do something fancy, and everybody looks at you, there's a lot of evil eye. Why would you do that? Now I'll tell you. People, I'll tell you what's the problem. The problem is, there's something called in Hebrew, intelligencia rigshit. I don't know how to say.
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah, emotional intelligence. What's the emotional intelligence? This is something that we all should learn about. Means people are emotional. When you deal with people, speak to people, you have to be very careful to not, chas v'shalom, to offend them, yeah. We have to be very careful. Sometimes you say one word, yeah. Let's say someone bought a new shoes, Nike. And you say, oh, Nike, I don't like it. Okay, you don't like it. It's allowed to not like. You know, it's not a sin. But you don't have an emotional intelligence, because that guy now will be embarrassed to go outside with these shoes because of you. You just waste this guy $60.
I wish it was 60.
It usually works with women, right? Women, if you tell them that the dress is not nice, they're not going to wear it anymore. Why? Because there's one opinion that said it's not nice. And they don't want to take the chance. And they feel bad with this. And then they just wasted, I don't know, it could be $200 or $300 for the dress. you do a big damage just by saying something and doesn't think about that people are emotional. So same thing happens with evil eye. When you do a big wedding, you know that some of your friends can't afford a wedding like that, right? And they're gonna sit in your table. And how do you think they're gonna feel like? Imagine yourself if you would not have money to do a big wedding, and a friend invites you to a fancy wedding that he has. Mama, she brings all the big singers and bands and everything, and mamash, very beautiful. And you just sit, it's already $200 just by sitting. We're not talking about the food. The food is even more. So, how are you gonna feel in such a wedding? You're gonna feel something like, oof. Like, why I can't also be like that at least a little bit? You know? Same thing is, yeah.
You think the Holocaust was caused by the evil eye?
I don't think so. Holocaust is a whole topic, but Bezrat Hashem will speak about it. If you want, I'll answer you that after, because it's
You don't think so?
no. But it could be that also it's affected. But
So it could be.
it was affected a little bit by that. Anyways, what we were talking about.
But doesn't Judaism
If
say
you're on
God
faith.
is-
Oh, so this wedding, one second. This wedding is fancy, and the person there, he's not gonna feel good. He's not gonna feel good. So why we do things that we know that the people around us gonna feel bad with this? Now, you can come and tell me, you know what, it's his problem. I can't afford it. It's your problem. That's right, logically. But emotionally, you would not want people to do that to you. You know, there's a very famous story in the Torah about Boaz and Manoach. Boaz was a person, he had a lot of kids. He lived long life, very long life. Some opinion says that he lived close to 400 years. And he had around 60 kids. Yeah? Tell Hashem to all of us. So, the only one that said amen. And I believe you're amen. You're really serious. So, he had 60 kids. He had his best friend. You know who is his best friend? Manoach. Manoach is the father of Shimshon. Shimshon, the strong guy. Now, Shimshon, he was born after a long time of not having kids. Long time. His wife couldn't get pregnant. Manoach's wife. Now, they were the best friends. Boaz had a lot of weddings to his kids, you know. Every few months, another kid gets married. But he didn't invite Manoach. Your best friend, you don't invite him. Why? He said, I can't do that to him. I'm going to invite him to see how am I happy in the wedding of my kids, and the guy doesn't have kids. Not just one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 60 weddings. Like, you know what's going to happen to his heart? Imagine to yourself, you come to someone that doesn't have kids for 10 years, you say, hey, I just got a baby. Tell me Mazal Tov. Yeah, he will tell you Mazal Tov. But how is it going to feel like inside? So same thing is in terms of evil eye. A lot of times we want to do things, but think 2 times before. Maybe it's not worth it. Let's say you go to Miami. You go for a travel. You went to see different places. Yeah, you want other people to make like to you. Yeah. That's how they say. I don't know how it works, but yeah, to comment, to make a like. But think about that. There's for sure there is a couple that's sitting and watching you in Miami now. And it's even can cause a problem. You know why? She's watching you now in Miami having fun with your husband. And he looks at her husband and says, why we can't do that? Why you never tell me, let's go to Miami? Let's travel. And she's jealous. And this has caused evil eye to you. Rabotai, evil eye goes through Facebook also. It's not just, to see each other like that. So, this is first, I think, first protection from evil eye is try to be as much humble as you can. I'm not saying now, don't go outside, block yourself at home, no. But try to be as much humble as you can. Our Rabbi say, דבר הסמוי מן העין, יש בו ברכה. Something that is hidden from the eye is blessed. That's why, by the way, if there is in the religious world a woman that gets pregnant, usually they don't say 3, 4, until they see the belly a little bit, They don't say. Why? So it should be blessed. If you're going to say in the first month, hey guys, Facebook, Instagram, I have a baby. Why? You are putting yourself in danger. Because people look at you. It's not like 1, 2, 3, it's thousands of people. And you don't know what's going to happen now.
It's even with the baby showers. If you don't have one, it's just the baby name,
I'll tell you the truth, I don't understand the concept of baby shower. First of all, nobody takes a shower then. Second of all, the baby is not exist yet, right? I don't know who invited it. In Judaism, there's no baby shower. There's a brit milah or a brita zev v'dabat for women, for a daughter. But this is we do after they.
After what?
After they're born.
Yeah. What about decorating the baby's room? A mother,
This is allowed.
Yeah, you can paint the room.
This has nothing to do with evil eye. You do it because you don't want to be stressed when the baby is going to be born.
You don't know if it's a boy or a girl, so it's kind of a problem.
Yeah, but today people kind of know.
Pink kind of.
Yeah. Today people kind of know, and there's some people that they put neutral colors,
Non-binary.
Anyways, you see something that is hidden is blessed. By the way, I know very rich people, and look at in Google, maybe they're gonna give you that information there. All the rich people, from the second they counted their money, and they put it for the public to know how much they are worth. From that second, they just go down and down and down and down and down.
But it's other people that do that, they count their own.
Right, doesn't matter. By the way, they do count their own. They have some reasons to do that, especially if they have to divorce.
It's a post-it.
But I know a situation like that. That's what I'm telling you. So, but from that second, they're just going to go down. Why? Everybody knows now that you have $2 billion in your account, and the eye is on this, and this is effects. That's why keep your money to yourself. People ask you how much you owe, how much you have, how much. Only HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows. I know people that even they ask him how many kids you have, he says Baruch Hashem I have. Why? If I'm going to tell him I have 6 kids, he's going to be like, 6 kids? Wow. You can have a minion in your house. This wow we are afraid of. Because you don't know what's his intention. Does he put Hashem in the picture and says, wow, Hashem blessed you? Or you think, wow, you're a strong person to have 6 kids, kol hakavod, very good. Evil eye. Or sometimes you can be jealous and you, also want to have. Evil eye. So what we're going to do? First of all, stay humble as much as you can. Try to hide yourself as much as you can. You know, I saw one of the Kabbalah books writes that if you are counting your money, so your money is going to be less blessed now. The Ben Ish Chai says it's better to not count the money. Unless you have to. Okay, you need to spend the money for a certain reason, and you have to count how much money you have in the pocket. So, the Ben Ish Chai say, count the money, and after you count the money, say, Ribono Shel Olam, pray to Hashem, in your words. Please, make sure that there's no evil eye on that money, and please, make this money give me only blessings. If you do that, it's going to help. Because you pray to Hashem. I will just like that to count things. This is one of the reasons we're not allowed to count Jews. Why? No, Jews you can count. Jews you're not allowed to count. Why? You know, if you come to a synagogue and we're not sure if we have 10 people, so we're not allowed to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Why? When you count Jews and you see, wow, a lot. Does this make you impressed? Sometimes, wow, the synagogue is full of people. There is people. People are praying. It brings an evil eye. Hashem says, don't count. Count in your head. This is allowed. So, until here, we saw that evil eye is really, really working. How can we protect ourselves from evil eye? So, first of all, is to be humble. Second of all, we don't want other people to be... we don't want to harm other people. Yeah, to bad to them. To destroy your life, basically. So, when you impressed of something, so make sure you get Hashem to the picture. Yeah, you see a beautiful person, wow, you're such a beautiful, Hashem gave you a present. You're lucky, Hashem gave you a present. Okay, it's because of Hashem. You have a lot of money, Hashem blessed you. And so on. This is the way. Now, same thing is to ourselves. We look at ourselves, we look at our success. You are successful in business, yeah? You just went to your bank account and you saw that you have, Baruch Hashem, a lot of zeros. So, tell to yourself, Ishtabach Shemo, Hashem blessed me. It's not because of me. Then you're not going to even rely on yourself. But there's also mystic things that we can do against evil eye. The Ben Ish Chai and the Gemara also say that when you do evil eye on yourself is the strongest one. How can you protect it? One of the ways is when you know that you did evil on yourself. He says if you're going to look at your the nose left corner, yeah, left corner of your nose. Sometimes it's hard, so you can close the right eye, and you just look at the left corner of your nose. He says this action has a spiritual power to cancel the evil eye that you did on yourself. Now, how it does work, yeah, it looks like, magics and things, but I'll just explain you a little bit, as much as we can go deep to that concept, how it works. Evil eye is judgments. Yeah? What's evil eye? Evil eye is like put negative energy on a person. It's called in Hebrew judgment, din. Those judgments that you put on a person or on yourself are affecting you, and then your luck and everything is like closed, and bad things happens to you and you're not successful because of that evil eye. How can we sweeten the judgments? So eye is called ayin in Hebrew. Ayin, if we look at the numerical number of ayin, is going to be 130, because ayin is 70, yud is 10, and nun is 50. So it's going to be 130. 130 is 5 times the name of Hashem. Hashem's name that we're not allowed to pronounce is Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey. Yud is 10, Hey is 5, Vav is 6, and Hey is 5. Together it's going to be 26. If you do 26 times 5, it's going to be 130. So basically, by the way, what we're studying now is a little bit of Kabbalah. The Kabbalah say that every organ in our body has a DNA. So the DNA of the eye is 5 times the name of Hashem. 26 plus 26 plus 26. Like if you write Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey and Yud and Hey and Vav 5 times, this is the exact DNA of the eye. Now, the name of Hashem, Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey, this is a power of kindness, giving. There is another name of Hashem, which is Elohim. Yeah? Aleph, Lamed, Hey, Yud, and Mem. This name of Hashem is also a name, but this name is bringing energy of judgment. A good judgment, but this is judgment. So there's name of Hashem that brings kindness, and this is Shem Havaya, Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey, and Chesed, yes, sorry. and the other one is Din, is judgment, is Elokim. So the Ayin is 130, 26 times 5 is 130. In the Ayin you have 5 powers of kindness. That's why eyes, the power of the eyes is really, really a lot of kindness. That's why, by the way, the Gemara says, if you go for a date and you want to pick a good girl, so look at her eyes. If she has a beautiful eyes, it's a good sign. What does the Gemara means? Not that just she has blue eyes. Wow, that's it, I'm getting married to you. No. Sometimes it's not true. What the Gemara means, eyes, it's kindness. If you see a girl that she always wants to give, doesn't want only to take, wants to give, care about others. This is, take this lady, this is the best. This is called Ayin Tova. Good eye means kindness. Why? Because the Ayin is built from 5 powers of kindness, which is the 5 names of Hashem. The nose is judgment. Why? Every time you see in the Torah, Kivyachol, the Torah wants to say that someone is angry, they call it Vayichar Af. And his nose was...
The nostrils flare.
What?
Like when your nostrils flare?
Yeah, the nose squeezed. Yeah?
Heat it up.
Yeah, heated up. That's more, yeah. The nose heated up. Yeah? That's how the Torah describes anger. The nose heated up. So, like you can ask, why don't you say the ears heated up? Why only the nose heated up? Because all the powers of judgments are located here in the nose. That's why when someone is angry, it's like, like all the powers go to the nose. So nose is the source of judgments. The left side of everything is judgment. The right side of everything is kindness. So the left side of the nose is the judgments of judgments. It's like the most judgment place in your body. When you look with your eye, which is 5 powers of kindness, on the left corner of your nose, which is judgment of judgments, you sweeten the judgments, and this takes the evil eye out of you. Okay? I know it's a little bit deep, but that's the concept. Now, more than that, this is to take out the whatever evil eye you have on yourself, that you did on yourself. What happens when other people do evil eye on you? There's one thing that also the Ben Ish Chai writes. There is a way to say a certain sentence, and we can do it all now together. And this takes a little bit out all the evil eye that people put on us. The Ben Ish Chai say he takes it from the Talmud. The Ben Ish Chai say that we have 5 fingers. This finger, the thumb, has the most judgments in the fingers. So if you are kind of hiding him, this takes out the judgments out of you. Yeah, that's why, by the way, someone told me today, if you will pay attention, all the big Kabbalists, until today, when someone pictured them, you know what they do? They always do like this. Why? When someone picture you, so it's going to be all over. They don't want people to do evil eye on them. So why they do right away? Hide the thumb. This is hide the judgment. No judgment on me. It's a big secret. Same thing.
What about saying the phrase Ben Porat Yosef Ben Porat Alein? And I heard like you have to go like this.
So that's what I'm saying now. That's what I'm going to say now. We're going to do it all together now. So the Ben Ish Chai say like this. If you take your two hands, you can do it with me together. You take your, let's say, right thumb and you put it in your left hand like this. Yeah, just cover it with the 4 fingers like that. And now take your left thumb and cover it with the other 4 fingers. Exactly, like this. Okay? And now you say like this. Anna. Say your name and your mother's name. Israel ben Tanya. So each one you're going to say his name. Mizar'a de Yosef Ka'atina. Mizar'a de Yosef Ka'atina. De lo shalta be en abisha. שנאמר בן פורת יוסף בן פורת עלי עין. That's it. Feel better? No, without it, that's it. So what we did right now is basically we said a sentence in Aramaic, which is a very powerful one. The explanation of that sentence is Ana, me, myself, your name and your mother's name. Mizar'a de Yosef Ka'atina, I came from the seed of Yosef. De lo shalta be, that he was protected from evil eye. Like the sentence in the Torah say, Ben Porat Yosef, Ben Porat Alein. So, you can question this sentence, what we just said now. We just said, I am from the tribe of Yosef. Is it true?
No.
Could be that we're not. Could be I'm from Yehuda and you're from Issachar and you're from Zvulun. We don't know. Right? How come we all can say that and be protected from evil eye? Like all the evil eye we had now, Be'ezrat Baruch Hashem, it went out. So how come? We all say we came from the tribe of Yosef. It's not true. Maybe not. This question was asked by a very huge rabbi 350 years ago. His name was Rabbi Eliyahu Cohen from Izmir, from Turkey. He asked that question. And he said the following. He says that we really didn't come from Yosef. We didn't come from Yosef. But we can still say that. Why? So he brings a whole story to explain that. He brings a Gemara in the Masechet Brachot, in the book of Brachot, page 20. Page 20. It says there a very important story about a rabbi. His name was Rabbi Yochanan. This rabbi was a beautiful person. But when I say beautiful, it's beautiful that you see him and you're shocked. You can't like move your eyes from him. He also didn't have beard, didn't grow. And even when he was old, he was beautiful. He was a great rabbi, and he had a custom to sit beside the mikveh, where the lady's going to, to the mikveh. Yeah, he was sitting outside in the door. And for a rabbi to sit in such a place, it's not very modest, like women wants to feel their privacy, They go to the mikveh. Not everybody should know about your day of the mikveh. And also, like, you see a lot of women all the time. What a rabbi should sit in that place. What you doing? All his students asked him this question. And they ask him, don't you afraid from evil eye? All the women coming out of the mikveh, they look at you and say, wow, beautiful person. Don't you afraid from evil eye? So he told them whatever we just said. He says, don't worry. I came from the tribe of Yosef. And Yosef, his father Yaakov, blessed him that he's going to be protected from evil eye. Doesn't matter what. So I'm protected. I'm not afraid of evil eye. That was the answer of Rabbi Yochanan. Comes Rabbi Eliyahu Kohen 350 years ago and says, I'm sorry, I have a question on that Rabbi Yochanan. In another place in the Talmud, Masechet Chulin, it says that Rabbi Yochanan was a Kohen. Kohen means he's from the tribe of Levi. So he's not from Yosef, clearly. How come he says on himself that he's from Yosef? So confident. Explains Rabbi Eliyahu, and he says like this. To be a part of a tribe doesn't mean you have to be, a son of the son of the son of the son of that person. To be a part of a tribe, to be from his seed, means you follow his directions. When you follow a direction of a person, you are like this person. Why does Yosef was blessed that evil eye is not going to affect him? Because Yosef was always keeping his eyes. Yosef, he was 17 years old when they sold him to the Egyptians. And he worked in Potiphar's house for a long time. And he was a beautiful person. Yosef, they say that the Egyptian girls, they were cutting the salad, and they were looking at Yosef, like walking in the street, and they were cutting their fingers. Just they didn't, they didn't feel even. When Yosef was going in the street, they were taking the bracelets, gold things, and just throw to him. So he looks at them, and maybe there's a chance that maybe he will get married to them. Yeah, the guy was a star. Now, 17 years old boy, 18 years old, 20, 21, and and the Torah says Yosef was putting his eyes down, not looking at any girl. Hashem doesn't allow me. And he lived in a house of Potiphar. His wife was one of the most beautiful ladies in Egypt. And she put her eye on Yosef. For a whole year, every day, she would convince him to be with her. Every day, the Midrash says she was changing clothes 2-3 times a day. Just to get his attention. Huh? She was doing that. And after a whole year, you all know the story, right? After a whole year, they had a holiday. I don't know, the Xmas of back then. And they all went, and she says, no, I'm sick, I want to stay home. And she stayed home with Yosef alone. And she take him in his jacket, and says, that's it. It's only me and you now. And what Yosef is doing? Bakshi. What Yosef is doing?
He says no.
Not just he says no. He leaves the jacket in her hands and runs away outside.
Shirtless? Yeah, but then she used the words her.
Ronan, can you do that?
Yeah.
Why? You know why? Because he felt I can't hold myself anymore. I can't hold myself anymore. If I'm not gonna run away, that's it. No Yosef at Tzaddik. There's no Tzaddik anymore. There's no righteous Yosef anymore. So, Rabotai, Yosef at Tzaddik, why we call him a Tzaddik, a righteous? Why? Because he knew how to protect, how to save his eyes from things that he should not look at. Rabbi Yochanan say, you want to be protected from evil eye? If you're going to protect your eye from looking at places that you're not allowed to look, never ever any eye of the people in the world can affect you. It goes midah keneged midah. As you do, Hashem do to you. Say it's not just for men that has to keep their eyes. It's also for women. Sometimes you look at places and you want. You have a desire to something that is not yours. Jealousy. Keep your eyes. Don't look at it. Love Hashem. Shi'eh lahem b'atzlacha. I'm happy for them. If you keep your eyes from others, to not look bad at others, to not look at places that you're not allowed to look, Hashem tells you 100% any person in the world can't make evil eye on you. They will try the whole day to look at you and think, and nothing is going to help. You are protected. You are Yosef. Yosef, son. Like Rabbi Yochanan. And that's what Rabbi Yochanan meant. I'm not from the tribe of Yosef, but I have that character. I worked on my eyes. By the way, the reason why I was sitting in the mikveh, I didn't tell you, is because he was beautiful and very smart in Torah. And he knew that every lady that comes out of the mikveh, she may have kids that night. So whatever the women see first after going to the mikveh, this affects her child the most. So he said, I want to make sure that those women, they see a beautiful person and a smart person, so therefore the next generation will be smart and beautiful.
That's so selfish.
Huh? No, he didn't, was proud of that. Hashem gave him a present, and he said, listen, I want to take care of the next generation. And that was the reason of Rabbi Yochanan. So, there's a lot of what to talk about, and there's a lot of things that we can do. There's other things that can help us with evil eye. By the way, this red thing that people tell us is going to protect you, I'm sorry, but this is shtuyot. I don't know who invented that, and I'll tell you more than this. If you want to be protected, it's better you put a light blue one. Because the light blue color is very good against evil eye. And the red color is judgments. It's bring even more. So, it's not very good to wear red all the time. Huh? So the light blue is good. Now, the chamsa, where the chamsa came from, the real chamsa, if you really want to be protected, yeah, ask your husband or whatever, yeah, to give you a present next time, a silver plate with the letter Hey. Because when the letter Hey is engraved on a silver plate, and you put it as a necklace or a bracelet, this protects from ayin hara, from evil eye. So this is the Ben Ish Chai say. So this is something that you all can make, and this is gonna help you be protected. So Chamsa is not. I'll tell you the better Chamsa. Chamsa came. We started from Yaakov. When Yaakov, and this is going to be the last thing we talk about today, we were already past the time. Yaakov Avinu, when he comes back to Israel, after 22 years he didn't see his parents and his brother Esav, he, Baruch Hashem, got 12 kids, and he comes to Israel, and on the way, Esav, his brother, the one that wanted to kill him 22 years ago, he meets him. And then when Esav saw him, so he saw all the money that Yaakov has and all the kids that Yaakov have, 12 kids, and he was very impressed. So Esav was asking Yaakov, who are those kids? So Yaakov says, Hayeladim asher chanan Hashem oti. The children that Hashem gave me. So Yaakov do two things here. He puts Hashem in the picture, so Esav with his big eyes would not do evil eye on my kids. And second things, he say the word hey. So our rabbi say, you know what Yaakov did at that second? He made a chamsa. He put his hand like that. When you put your 5 fingers like this, when someone does an evil eye to you, it protects that. Now, sometimes it's not comfortable. Someone talks to you and says, wow, such a good, beautiful shirt. And you say, yeah, right. They're going to feel something, It's not, So, what I recommend people, when someone does it to you, and he says, wow, look, you have such a nice hair. You say, yeah, it's very hot today here, Very hot. And then you do the chamsa like that. This works. So, Be'emet, I just gave you few tips, practical things that you can take and you can do. But again, if we're going to go back, the best thing, Rabotai, stay as humble as you can. Stay as hidden as you can. It's going to give you a lot of blessing. I want to thank Levi's Catering for giving us the food today. Toda Rabba. B'ezrat Hashem, Hashem will give them a lot of blessing and atzlacha in everything they do. And thank you for you guys to come here. B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to have it every Sunday. Bli neder. Sometimes I'm not going to be here, so my very good friend Rabbi David Saba is going to be replacing it. So we're going to let you know. But please come to me, come to him. He is like, first of all, his English is better than me. And he's a very good rabbi, and you're going to enjoy him, B'ezrat Hashem. So any questions? And we done for today. Chazak u'baruch.